Hello everyone, it is Friday. Happy Friday to you. So we are going to do some crafting here with the Pretty Perennials stamp set. I'm just getting logged in here so I can see your comments if there are any. So be sure to let me know if you join me. All right, hello, Drea Prince and Lynn Scott. Okay, so as you can see, I don't actually have a card, so we are creating like fresh, something I have not done before. Here's the host code, so if you see anything you like tonight, now's the time to order. Also, it is my anniversary, my 4th anniversary special until Sunday. So if you order $40, we're keeping the 4th in there, or more of product, you will get either free rhinestones or pearls, because who doesn't want those for an anniversary gift? Or if you buy 3 embellishments, you will get the 4th free, being rhinestones or pearls. And then of course, celebration, and any order, I think I said any order over $25 would be entered into a draw for a $25 shopping spree. So we're gonna tuck that off to the side here, and we are gonna move on. So we're actually gonna do a case out of the catalog. So case is copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit. So I generally like to selectively edit because I don't like to do something exactly like someone else has. So we're gonna change up the colors, but otherwise we're going to sort of keep it pretty true to what we're seeing in the catalog. So I am looking at page 31 of the new mini, and we're going to create something like this card here. So simple stamping, we're gonna use tons of the stamps, we're gonna use a bunch of different colors of the ink, we're gonna do some fussy cutting here, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. And then I will do a second video, not tonight obviously, but this weekend, using this bundle again, and we'll work with the dies. But tonight we're just gonna work with the stamps, okay? So we're gonna do something like that. So I'm gonna put that off to the side. So I'm using Very Vanilla instead of Whisper White or the new basic white, just again to mix it up. The other thing I am doing is, here is our card base, right? Our standard piece of cardstock cut in half. So this is now 8.5 by 5.5, and we're gonna score it or just fold in half, your choice. And it looks to me in the catalog that they just stamped all over this card front, which is fabulous. I am adding an extra layer, and the only reason I'm adding this extra layer is that if we decide that this is garbage and we don't like it, or if we mess up, we can turn it over. But if we go right on the card front and then we decide, oh yeah, I don't really love how that turned out, we can't really do anything about that aside from then cover the entire card with DSP and do something totally different. So that is why I have this piece here that we're going to use instead. And this entire stamp set is photopolymer, so I'm gonna bring out our Pierce mat so that we just get that extra layer of pressure. And then I'm also going to bring out a scrap piece of paper. I don't even think I have any. I emptied my recycling. So let's get a new scrap piece of paper here so that we are not stamping all over my mat. Although I've already stamped all over it, so I'm not really sure why I care now, but I do. Okay, so let's pull out all these stamps. We've got lots of stamps here, okay? So we've got our greeting, which is "You Make Me Happy." We'll do that at the very end. And then we've got all these beautiful flowers. And so what I have done is, and this die here is from the Poppy die set, which I might have already put away. Oh no, here it is. This die is from Painted Labels, in case you're wondering what the die is from. Painted Labels. So you can see here I've got Calypso Coral and I have got Just Jade. So it looked to me like the sample in the catalog is Just Jade and Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, Old Olive, and yeah, I think that's it. So I wanted to stick with the Just Jade. So what I did is I just looked at my color coach. And I don't know if these are accessible to everybody or just to demos. But I went with this. So I looked at Just Jade, and then I've added Shaded Spruce is going to be our foliage. And then I added Calypso Coral. And then we're going to decide as a group whether we're going to use Petal Pink or Crushed Curry. And then of course we have to use the black. So that's where my colors came from, in case you're wondering. And yeah, we're just going to get started. So I think we're going to start with the biggest flower and then work our way down. So we're going to do the biggest flower in the Calypso Coral. So that is this one here, okay? And of course, it doesn't have to be exactly like the catalog. So I'm just gonna take a rough look at that and then we'll go from there. So this stamp is a distinctive, is what it's called. So I'm gonna show you what that means by stamping it off here on this. Is that it has depth to it. So you get light patches and dark patches, and that is just built into the stamp. So it's kind of like two-step stamping without actually needing to do two steps. So it's lovely. And this stamp set was also one of those $1 million sales achievers. So that's pretty fabulous as well. Okay, so we're gonna ink that up. And we're just gonna throw that down here. And then we're gonna ink it up again. And we're gonna put it here. And they have it a third time, roughly like that, okay? So there is our large flower. And we're pretty much done with that stamp. Unless we decide we need to fill it in. So I'm just gonna move that off to the side. And then we're going to do the center of it. So the center is in the memento. And it's this little guy here. At least I think it is. So let's ink that up. And then we can take a look and see if that's, yeah, okay. So great thing is we can see. So we're gonna just sort of line this up and put it on there and line this up. So if you don't have a Big Shot or the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss, this stamp set alone would be fabulous. You don't need to have the dies. You will love the stamp set just on its own. Okay, now what I would like to know from you guys is, should we add in, for this smaller flower, should we do mango or should we do petal pink? Given that our other two colors are Just Jade and the mint, or the Shaded Spruce. So have a thought and then let me know if we should add in mango or petal pink. And while I am waiting, we will do this guy. And he is going to be in Just Jade. And we're going to find out. So actually what I might do is stamp this one first on our, because I'm not sure which order we should stamp this in. So this here is the stem for this guy. And so I'm not sure if it's easier to do the circles first or to do no, that was okay. That lines up well. So I think you could probably do it in either order, but we're gonna go with that. Okay, I'm still waiting. No one is commenting on whether we're gonna add in mango or petal pink. I know what I'm leaning to, but I'm happy to do what you guys think. So we're gonna put this one back. We're going to, actually, I've changed my mind. We're gonna do this bit first, so then hopefully that's gonna be fine, because I kind of want to know where these are gonna end up. So we're gonna put this kind of like over here, and we're gonna put another one kind of right there, and we're gonna go up here, think I'm going to try, just for those of you who are watching, and I know some of you are regulars, you try to tune in when you can. I think I'm going to try for this Friday night video time. It's when my son goes to lacrosse. So it's kind of a good time for me. My husband takes him and stays and waits in the car. So I have undisturbed time to be down here making a video. All right. So now we're going to do this. So we're going to line it up. Still very weird to do videos because I'm basically just talking to myself. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I talk to myself all the time, but... So, of the people who are watching, who has this stamp set? Or who has this stamp set on their list of ones that they want to... end up with. This one was on my list from the get-go, but I waited to buy it. Ugh. See, we don't want that to happen. I think this card's going to be busy enough that you're not going to notice that. Hopefully. I've got black all over. I don't know how that happened. Another reason why we didn't go right on the card front. Okay, let's see. Nobody is answering me here about the pink or the... I think I'm going to go with the mango. Nobody's voting, so I'm just going to make an executive decision. So we're going to add some mango in here. So we're going to put some of this here. And then we're gonna throw some of that guy over there. Now, some of this is gonna get covered up. And some of it, we're still gonna put some leaves. So I'm just gonna do those 3 for now. And then we're gonna do some leaves and we'll go back to it. So the leaves we're going to do in shaded spruce. Now the leaves are actually a 2-step stamp. They're one of the few things that are. So we're going to have to stamp we're going to stamp this guy first and stamp it off. Oh, did you see that? I was about to stamp it and not stamp it off. That would be less than ideal. And then this one I'm going to stamp off twice. And I might actually do another one sort of here. Kind of cover where I goofed. And then we'll do one up here. Okay, this card is a little darker than it's not quite as bright and cheery as I was hoping for. Oh, we still need this. But we'll see what the end result looks like. And it's okay if we don't like it, right? We can just be like, well, we tried that and it wasn't our favorite. So now this guy, we're gonna put over top. But you can see how easy this stamp set is to work with. right? So we're essentially making like our own DSP. So I've stamped that once, and then I'm going to, so you can, so this is called like first and second generation, and then we've got third generation when we stamp it off twice. Okay, what they also had on this card, which I don't know which stamp set they got it from. They have all these little dots. So we're gonna figure that out. But we also need to put a color in the middle of those. So I'm going to, what's the closest? It's pretty orange, but let's see what that looks like. Oh, this needs to be re-inked. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay. Keep that to the side. Keep all those. Close the lid on this. Right. Okay. Let's take a quick look at all of our new stamp sets. We're looking for something. It's kind of got some little splotches. None of those. Okay, let's just find something else. Of course, you can never find what you're looking for when you want it, right? When you quickly want to be like, oh yeah, I'll just add some of that in. Oh, here. It's not quite what I want, but let's use this. So, I don't think she's seeing our comments. I am seeing your, oh, you're right. I'm not seeing your comments. All right, what's going on? I'm seeing my own comment. That's weird. Oh, I see why. Haha. No, that's not right. Comments on. You're right though, you guys. I'm not seeing any of your comments. I can see that you're watching, but I can't see. Oh, there we go. Now I am. Oh gosh. That was weird. Okay. We're going to use these little dots. And I am going to do Smoky Slate. It's pretty much my favorite thing to add a bit of splash of color. It's so weird. So here I am saying, why aren't you guys answering me? And you're like, we are. Why aren't you seeing us? So we're just getting like a little bit of, you know, interest in some of that white space. Okay. We're gonna leave that. All right, my friends. So now we're gonna add this layer. So we can actually do whatever we want with this card, right? We could turn it. It's totally up to us how we want this to be the front of the card. I intended it to go like this, more or less. So I don't really love that space. So I might do it more. We could put it off center. I might do it like that, actually. Oh my gosh. Am I there now? I think so. Sorry. Yes, okay. So we're gonna use our little stamp mini guy here, which works so well. It's awesome. Create our sandwich and then just roll it through. So the only thing about using the mini is, of course, you have to have cut your piece that you're using has to be like a scrap. There we go. Boom, done. Fabulous. Put that to the side. Bring our card front back. So if we're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this. All right, now we're gonna pull out our greeting, and we're going to stamp that on a scrap, which I had. A scrap of Very Vanilla. If you guys could see my desk right now, right? We talk about this every time I do live. Oh, there it is. That my desk ends up being a bit of a disaster. Okay. So we're going to do Happy in the coral. Not pumpkin. Coral. And then go from there. I apologize. I feel like this has turned into a bit of a not quite as smooth as I would have liked. That's probably why I should make the cards in advance, right? But there we have it. All right, so we're gonna fussy cut this out. I find now I've been doing quite a bit of fussy cutting, especially today as I was making thank you cards for my stamp camp people. I kind of spin my paper around. So I think everybody's got a system that works well for them. And you can decide how close you go to the letters, how far you go in, all sorts of things depending on how comfortable you are with the cutting and also how separated you want each letter to be. This would actually look really nice, clear embossed as well. It would make the words pop a bit more. And I think in the interest of time, I might actually stamp the You Make Me in black instead of white, because then we won't have to emboss it and it will show on the jade. So just kind of cutting around. I do find for fussy cutting, you do need really good snips. So although I have some other pairs of scissors similar size to these are my favorite, of course, the Stampin' Up ones. But you definitely need snips. You can't do this with like your big scissors that I might use for cutting like ribbon or something else. You need sharp, tiny scissors to be able to get into all the nooks and crannies of the letters. Even that, you can see I was getting caught. I love this font that they've used for this Happy. It makes me happy. It's super big and bold and flourish at both ends, which is nice. So, okay, now that I can see your comments, I think, who already owns this? If you're watching and you already have this, or is it on your list? Or was it one that you were just like, I don't really need it? Maybe now you're like, oh, it's kind of fun, actually. And like I said, I mean, the dies are gorgeous, obviously, but if you're like, I've got lots of flower dies, I don't need more dies, but you like the stamp set, you can see that you could easily just get the stamp set. You don't have to get the bundle. You could cut out those flowers as well. So if you don't have a die cutting system. All right, so there is our happy. Let's move all that to the side. Okay, let's bring our card front back in here. Let's bring the actual card back in here. So at the moment, based on how our stamping has gone, I feel like we need to kind of cover that. And then we're gonna put this on here. That's gonna go there. Okay, and then we are going to stamp on a little piece of this, the You Make Me. I'm gonna do it in Memento. And then we are going to cut that out as well. So I'm gonna make sure it's straight by lining it up on my grid paper. And we might actually be able to do it right here. Oh, we can, perfect. Okay, so this is where I would actually use my bigger scissors, like I was talking about, which I had been using earlier today, because I can just make a straight cut across. And I'm going to do the same up top because I do not feel like this is a straight edge. So then I'm going to go again on the bottom because I want to have the same margin. And then I'm actually going to do that because I think that makes it kind of fun. It's another thing you can do if you know you don't have a straight line. If you're cutting by hand and you're like, I don't think that's very straight. You just add in like a fun little edge and then it doesn't matter. So I want them to be the same. There we go, like that. So I'm actually going to make this one a little bit steeper. Okay. All right, and then we're just gonna throw this all together. I'm gonna add some ribbon in though. So we are going to, we have a couple of options because I think we're gonna add in, so we can add that ribbon or we can just add the plain jade. I kind of like this one, so I'd be curious to see. Oh, it's on. Can you move your hand a little? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm totally not getting your comments. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I was getting them and then I'm not, and then now I'm not again. I really apologize because I'm not trying to ignore you, but I'm just not seeing them. Can you use the sprinkles? I totally could have used the sprinkles. Okay, I froze, so I saw that. Card is lovely. This is so weird. Can you move your hand on your list? Okay, well that's good to know, Lynn. Okay, I think that is the last comment. Oh my gosh. So which ribbon do you guys think we should use? Or we could just use, or maybe we should just use this one? What do you think? Okay, I'm standing up, so I think I can see your comments on my phone. So I'd be curious to know which ribbon do you think we should add? And while you are deciding, I will, I'm going to trim this piece down a tiny bit. What is the natural ribbon? Okay, so see, I'm not seeing your comments. Oh my God, what an annoyance. Okay, so we're gonna use this one. This is in the Forever Fern. It's that ribbon. Oh geez, my apologies. Okay, So I want to wrap the ribbon around first before we put this on the card. So we're going to do that. We're going to tie a bow. We're going to just roughly put that in the middle. Or maybe we'll just tie a knot, actually. So lots of times I will just leave the ribbon on the spool, or whatever you want to call it, and I will do my tying and then I'll cut it off after. So I can cut it off now because I know we're not going to want it longer than that. And we want a nice center, so we get that by just pulling one end. Okay, and then we can fix the ends after. So we could pop this guy up with dimensionals since we're not actually using that many dimensionals anywhere else. Some other demos have been having issues seeing comments. Okay, well maybe it's a Facebook thing. Maybe it's a Facebook Live thing. Because I certainly know the last time I did a video, I didn't have any issues. So let's go, well, no. We're gonna do this flat, and the reason we're gonna do this flat is because we're gonna put dimensionals everywhere else. So I have got my seal refill, finally, thank you, thankfully. So we will use our Stampin' Seal. I was watching last night another demo do a video, Rhonda Wade, on her stamp set that she created. And she really likes the Seal Plus, that's her favorite. She uses that one. I like that one, I just only use it for 3D projects, but okay. So we've got that down. And then we're gonna put this, and we're gonna put this, and then we're gonna put our happy. So we're gonna put this quite close to the knot. I might actually see, I won't be able to move it now, but that's okay. So what you can do, if you're ever not loving how your knot is lying and you wanna kind of direct it, you're just gonna use a glue dot. So you just take out a glue dot and, oh no, your Seal Plus broke. Oh, that sucks, because once it's broken, right, you can't get it back out. You could phone them. If you phone Stampin' Up, they're so good about their products. So you can see now that I put a glue dot there, I'm directing the way that the ribbon is gonna go. So that is a tip for sure that you can do. Okay, so now this we're going to put flush, this we're going to pop up, this we're gonna pop up, and then that we're gonna pop up. So actually we're gonna do both of those flush, and then we're gonna pop everything off. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm going to use my seal. What would actually be really nice, you know what, hang tight. I'm gonna emboss this before we get crazy. We'll use this, and then we can use the mini as well. So these little guys, this is exactly what they are for, is our little machine. So you'll see, I haven't actually used it for embossing, so this is kind of fun. So we're going to bring that back into view. Move all these stamps that I'm gonna have to clean. So now, if we are going to emboss, what does my booklet tell me? It tells me I need plate 3 and then plate 1. So you always need your base plate. And then plate 3. So it shows you here 1 and 3. And then if it were a 3D embossing folder, you'd use plate 4. But it is not a 3D folder, I don't think. Let me double check. No, the greenery embossing folder. All right, so we're gonna put this in here. Now remembering this is gonna go this way, so I kind of have to, what you can do if you're kind of trying to decide, So do we like it like that, or do we like it? I think we like it like that. Okay, so we're gonna put it in here. I'm gonna make sure it's straight. And then we're gonna use our little machine here. So we're gonna go 1 and then 1, yes, and then 3 on top. And then of course it tells us we always put the embossing folder hinge first. Voila, there we go. Perfect, love it. Super cute. Okay, so now we are going to center this on here. And then we are going to use dimensionals on here, and I had them all out so that they would be ready for us. So we will use a couple minis on this guy, and then we'll figure out where we want them on here. And what you're gonna see me do now, and this is another little trick, is because I want a tiny bit of dimensional on each end, I'm just gonna cut little strips off, and we're gonna use those on these bits that flare out. Just gotta figure out where it's sticky. There. And then the same thing here. Figure out where it's sticky and put it down here. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stand up. I don't see any new comments, so that's good. My apologies again to everyone who has been watching. It timed out, I froze, it came back, I can't see your comments. Oh my goodness. Perhaps that is the downfall to me doing these videos on Friday evenings. I'm gonna have to turn off my screen limits before I sit down to do these, obviously. Okay, so we're gonna kind of put this down here, center that. And then put this in the corner. Okay, bring back our card front, and now we're going to use more dimensionals, so we can use big dimensionals here now. And I'm going to do all 4 corners because that's going to go over top of the ribbon. So then I don't generally put one in the middle. It's okay. Oh, thank you, Carol. Must be late for you too, Carol. Is it like 10:30 where you are? All right, and then we're gonna put that on here like this. And then we are gonna trim this. I'm actually gonna use these big scissors because sometimes I find these ribbons can be tricky to cut. Okay, so there's our ribbon. Now, do we need some bling is going to be the question. And do we want this to be straight would be the other question. And I would suggest we definitely, you know what's throwing me off? My grid paper is crooked. Okay. Voila. There we have it, friends. Oh my gosh, I feel like that took us forever. Yes, 10:30, but you're a night owl. We did it! Woohoo! What do you think? Does it need some bling? What kind of bling could we add? I pulled out all the new bling. I don't think we want to use black, and we don't want any of those. These are everyone's favorite, these new opal rounds. I feel like pearls would be another good option. These are a bit white, I think. So I don't think we're going to use those. But maybe it doesn't need any bling. I mean, you can never go wrong with some rhinestones. What do you guys think? Apparently I have 2 of those. Should we just leave it embellishment-less? I was looking to see if I had something coral. Gold, we could pop some gold on there. I'm looking for my pink rhinestones. Oh, those. Or we could do those. What do you think? Leave as is. Either rhinestones or no bling. Okay, let's just leave it. Okay, there you have it, you guys. So this is the Pretty Perennials. We have only just used the stamp set. We didn't use the dies. This is a case from the card in the catalog on page 31. I've changed up the colors. I used Very Vanilla. I apologize, this has been a bit of a train wreck. As I said, I will come back on either tomorrow or Sunday, and I will let you know in advance, just like I did today, and we will make another card using the Pretty Perennials. We're going to use the dies, though, and we are going to use one of the free Celebration DSPs, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I apologize that I could not hear your comments. And then just a reminder, if you live in Canada and you want to shop with me, that is my anniversary special for this weekend only and Sunday. So you would earn yourself a free embellishment for any order over $40, or if you purchase 3 embellishments, you will get the 4th free. The free embellishment will be either rhinestones or pearls, because who wouldn't want those for their anniversary? And you'd also be entered into a draw for a little shopping spree. All right, so have a great night, and I'll see you again in a day or 2.